Well, it looks like I'm staying in today. We still have a lot of smoke here. There's usually mountains in that direction. You can barely see them. You can barely see the city again. So it didn't really clear up here. See, right about here, like, I don't know, right about out there, you see like a cluster of our buildings, some of our tall buildings. And from here you can barely see them. So it looks like I'm not going to be going anywhere today. But it's probably a good thing. My throat is really killing me. And of course, as usual, we have some stupid idiot out at the end of this road there doing something on his bike. We get a lot of stupid idiots doing things because the road doesn't connect to anything. They're going to connect it when they build that stupid stadium that no one wants here in this neighborhood. But until then, we have to deal with people coming through the mesa here. Usually they're flying through here in the mornings, or at nights too. Other people come out here to do drug deals, to do drugs, to have sex or whatnot. But it gets annoying after a while. But what you're looking at now, that's part of the petroglyphs. That's what they're going to destroy. It's a national monument. We have our volcanoes. New Mexico, for those who don't know, have what we call the Three Sisters, and they're more out that way. The reason they call the Three Sisters is because you just see the three of them, but there's actually 7 little volcanoes, but you can't see the other ones, only just the 3. And they're active, but they're not. We haven't had any activity. But it's gonna suck if they build the stadium and the 3 the 3 schools, elementary, middle school, and high school. As much as I hate the mesa for it's bringing in the snakes and what other little creatures live out there, we do have coyotes that live out there. In fact, in February, when we had our major snowstorm that put us below 0, me and my brother actually saw 2 baby coyotes out there. They were chasing a rabbit, and here in New Mexico, once they build. They don't care if they cover up a hole. They don't care if there's animals living in there. So what we're trying to do now is trying to get proof of the coyotes, especially if they're an unusual breed, then they can't build. I'm not a nature person by any means, but when I saw those baby coyotes just going on their merry little way, trying to catch a rabbit, it brings to the reality of what we're doing to our wildlife. They deserve to have their home, and we're destroying it by taking their home. And we did ask the people, what are they going to do to the wildlife out here? Are they going to relocate them, or are they just going to kill them? And they wouldn't give us an answer. So to me, that just says that they're going to just bulldoze through them. They don't care if they kill them, which to me is wrong. Like I said, we saw 2 baby coyotes. out there. Another day when me and my brother were going to go get my mom after putting in gas, we saw a coyote just cross over 98th Street, um, like it was nothing. It went through uh, 6 lanes over to the other side where they're going to build the stadium out. Like it was nothing. Like, they've done that many times, and it was during the day. And yeah, they're night animals, but they're coming out during the day. The other thing we have that lives across the street are rabbits, and I love rabbits. I haven't seen many jackrabbits like I did just before we moved from our other house. We had tons of jackrabbits coming out. Yeah, the snake from yesterday came from out there, and I do hate snakes. We do have spiders, scorpions, millipedes, centipedes, and whatever else. But like I said, when you see the coyotes, and you see them as their babies, it kind of makes you think, is it worth destroying their land just to develop? I mean, if you look straight ahead past that house where you see the car, there's a whole bunch of empty land out there that they started building. But I mean, they put up the wall, they put up the dividers for each plot, but there's nothing. No one's built. There's in between the two houses right over here, right there, there's empty lots. We have down my block a few empty lots. There's one house that's somewhere over there that's completely empty. There's some places where there's only one house in the section and the rest is empty. No one's buying, partly because of economics. But with them talking about building a school and a sports complex for APS, definitely no one wants to buy now, and I don't blame them. But I don't know, I'm starting to think it's kind of wrong to take the wildlife's natural home. Where are they going to go? I was watching a documentary about, say about a year ago, that came out on on one of the direct channels, and they were talking about the wildlife are slowly and gradually losing their home. I mean, during the summer we have bears and lions and tigers. Oh my, had to go in there. That come down from the mountains into neighborhoods because that was once their land, and now it's been taken away. And as I was watching it, they were showing these bears and these tigers and whatnot coming down, and they're not afraid of humans, and they've always been afraid of humans. And here it is, they're not afraid of humans, and that's frightening to me. When I was watching the documentary, they were talking about the coyotes. They're starting to get smart. They're learning how to jump over fences. They're learning how to do things. They're coming out in the day, and they're not supposed to. They're night animals. But yet, they're coming out during the day. And, it kind of frightened me because it says that they're getting smart. They're learning how to bypass everything that they normally know because they're losing their homes and whatnot. And, I mean, the area where I live at, it's an open cul-de-sac. And, they come through there all the time. My brother one day saw one of the coyotes there in our yard just standing there, and he had to call my mom and tell her, when you come home, give call first and let us know that you're home. Do not get out of the car just yet. Only because of the fact that, that there was a coyote that came out. And, she was coming home late at night when they're usually supposed to be out. So, we had to give her a warning. Over that way, you see like a yellow tent thingy, different colors. Well, that's a playground over there. And one of the days when me and my brother were going to go do something in the morning, we saw two baby coyotes, well, more teenagers, teenager babyish, just there in the playground. That's where kids play at. You know, kids play in there. We have a mesa over that way, and uh, you know, they came out. It was early morning, and they were out, um, which is kind of freaky when you think about it. You know, our kids are playing out there, and here it is. You have these coyotes coming out. You know, I mean, they're coming out during the day. They're coming out in the mornings. When a few times in the mornings when me and my mom had left for work in school at 7 o'clock in the morning, you know, we saw several coyotes walking. One of them was a mother and a baby. Another one was two adult coyotes just walking. And I remember one time when we were getting into the car, I was talking to my mom as we were walking out, and they stopped when they heard our voices, and they started looking in our direction. And you know, it does kind of freak you out because they can come and run and attack you. And you know, the car door wasn't open yet. I was gonna start putting my stuff in the car. My mom was locking up the door. I mean, they could easily have come and attacked us. You know, it's a pretty sad thing. I am hoping that if they do build, they at least relocate the animals. You know, I don't want to see a coyote get killed. I want to see bunnies getting killed. In fact, I tease my mom and my brothers that I stuff for bunnies. They tear it out of anyone, you know. They can cause an accident, but I stop for bunnies. In fact, it's a funny story. When I was getting my driver's license, the guy who was my instructor, we went up into the mountains area, and we were in a residential area, and we were doing, you know, different things. And as I was driving, there happened to be a bunny out on the road, and I stopped and I let the bunny cross. And I told my instructor, "You can't kill a bunny; they're too cute." So ever since then, I always made jokes that I stop for bunnies. It's kind of hilarious. I'm a goof that way sometimes. But I just wanted to show you guys that we still have the haze over us. Or, well, whatever petroglyphs I can show you from my bedroom window. The petroglyphs that will be destroyed, like I said, it's a national monument. So we're trying to figure out why they're going to build where they're not supposed to. They should be gone in I don't know, about 3-4 years. And it's kind of funny. APS says that they have no money, so they're going to be doing a lot of cuts. They're firing, I believe they said about 1,028 of their employees, just so that way they can meet their budget. Well, this land that they purchased, that you're seeing right now, that cost them about $4 million to build. The complex is going to be about another $4 million. Then the schools is going to be close to, I think they said about $4 million. There's your money right there. Use that money for the teachers instead of firing them. For people who don't know, APS here in New Mexico has the worst grade. Since they started grading schools, APS has always been the lowest. 1 year we were actually 50th. Otherwise we're in the 40s. And I mean, it's pretty sad to say the least. I mean, me and my brothers all went to APS. We all had learning disabilities. But it really sucks with the fact that we are with the lowest, and they're thinking more of wanting to build stuff instead of putting money into our education. It literally comes down to that our education is not important anymore, and it's sad. Education should be highly important for many reasons. But the society that we live in, they value everything else but education. Um, and their APS is talking about not having money, not having this, not having that, and yet they have the money to build. We have one school that still isn't even finished. They've never completed it, so it kind of comes down to why not finish that school first before you build more? I mean, up here where I live at, we have one elementary school and that's it. Further out, we have a middle school, high school, I guess is what it is. Other than that, we don't have anything out here, and they want to build, and we're all against it. I mean, I don't want a sports complex. I've seen what they did to our other sports complex by the university, and what the kids have done to the neighborhood and stuff like that. And I mean, some of these people's plots, we had to put down money just to have the plot or whatever. Anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. Some of these homes are worth quite a bit. That's going to bring down the homes. And since we live in an open community, and then, of course, like I said, I live in a cul-de-sac and my area is open, the kids are going to be able to come in and destroy. And like I said, if the kids start destroying our house, start suing APS. Give them the bill to pay for it. We're telling them we don't want it. We're telling them that it's wrong how they did it, how they went about it. But APS doesn't care. They just care about more wasting money instead of putting it back into our education. I mean, some students don't even have books. They have to share books with other classmates. West Mesa got rid of their lockers, and we're supposed to have 2 sets of books, one in the class and then one that's supposed to be ours at home. And, that wasn't happening. A lot of people had to carry their books around. I mean, I had to carry my books around. So that's 7 classes of books that I had to carry around in a backpack. And, I did do a number on my back. It messed it up. It got to the point where I had to ask my teachers if I can borrow the books because I went to upper bound after class. Just so that way I wouldn't kill myself because my backpack would get too heavy with the papers, the notebooks, the books. I wasn't carrying a purse, so all my stuff was in my backpacks. But after a while, it does take a toll on you, and I couldn't deal with it no more. So, I had to ask my teachers if I can check out a book and then return it in the morning. But here in our society, education is not that important, and it goes to show, since we're the lowest in education, and it's pretty bad. But APS doesn't care. They won't listen to what we're saying. A lot of teachers are losing their jobs because of the fact that they don't have the budget money for it or whatever. So this should be interesting.